What is up, my beautiful people? Welcome back to the Between Two Sheets podcast, where we bring you interesting people from around the world. Today we have a very interesting character. Her name is Sigrid, and she is a female captain, deliverer, and boater extraordinaire, and we're going to get to know her and get to know her story right now.
Yes, hello, good afternoon everyone, good afternoon James. Thanks for this opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm sailing, I'm now sailing about like 50 years.
Wow.
50, 50, yes.
Wow.
Something like that. Yeah.
So you were a little kid when you started?
Yeah, it started when I was 7 years old. And I started, I have to say my parents were dedicated sailors. They had a huge yacht at that time, it was 28 feet long. So at that time it was really a big yacht. And so we had our boat in Belgium and we did big adventurous sailing trips. So it was normal that I started learning to sail when I was 7. So I went to the school for optimist sailing. I started in the optimist boat.
That's a very common story if your parents are sailors.
Yeah.
Usually people start out with the opties.
Yeah, yeah.
And you loved it?
I loved it. My first camp with an optimist was like, you have to do a little route from marker to marker. But when I go behind the first marker, I just wanted to go far away from the group. So I left the group on my boat. I was happy and I said, okay,
oh, that's
here
beautiful.
I go. So, yeah.
And how long have you been professionally sailing?
Well, professionally, like more or less like 20 years now.
Wow.
So you build it up. You start with, in the beginning you start down on the ladder, like a mate, and you make your way always up. And I think I'm doing this like 20 years. So, yeah.
Wow. So you started, you wanted to work with boats, and you started as a delivery crew or something?
No. I'm a graphic designer, so I lived in Belgium, I went to school and all these things. And I had a big dream when I was 8, and I was sailing around the world with my own boat.
You were 8 years old?
Yeah, 8 years old. And I was with my parents here in the neighborhood, like Gibraltar or Spain. And 1st of September we have to go back, we have to go to school. And school starts again after the summer holiday. And I was on the deck of the boat and I said to my father, hey listen, I don't want to go to school, I want to stay on the boat. And he said, wow, Sigrid, that's an amazing idea, and it's fine, it's great.
They let you do it?
My father said, yeah, great, do. And they say, you have one problem. And I say, what's that? Yeah, ask your mother if you have permission. So I went to the kitchen on the boat and I said to my mother, listen, I have a great idea. And Daddy agrees. He says, okay, I want to stay here and I don't go to school anymore because I'm going to take care of the boat and I live on the boat and I sail the boat myself. And my mother, she said, you're crazy. You're not realistic. So she said, listen to me. You have to go to school, you get a degree and you study, you find a nice job, you can earn very good money, enough money to buy your own boat, and then you can do your crazy dream. And she was right, because it costs a lot of money.
Yeah. So did you go to school?
Yeah, and I had to go to school. I finished school, I went to the film school. I'm a graphic designer, so I did cartoon animation. And when I was 22, I got my degree, so it was time to start career working. But at that time I still have my dream, so I said, hey no, I'm not going to work, I go sail. I go sailing around the world. But at the moment I look at the price of the boats, I didn't have money for a boat. So I started to try to go not as captain but as a crew with other boats. And I didn't like it very much because you have to obey and you have to do what the captain says, and then also some male captains, they just want other things, and you know how it goes, and I don't like this very much. So I realized very fast that I want my own boat. I didn't have money at the time to buy a boat, so I made a new plan and I said I'm going to work in Belgium 20 years in graphic design. I'm going to earn a lot of money, and when I'm 45, I have my boat and I go sailing around the world.
Beautiful.
And I had 1 year of delay. I was 46.
Really?
So 20 years I saved money. 20 years.
Wow. Always with that dream in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Really?
I decided not having a real relation, meaning marrying or having children, because then was a limit on my freedom. So I choose for a different lifestyle. But number one was my dream.
Wow.
And that is very, very interesting, very different, because you live different than other people's. And colleagues, I live different. I was always busy about dreaming, planning, saving money. Relation-wise, I have to say, sorry, that you can have a relation, but don't claim me too much, because one day I go. So that's,
So every decision you made for 20 years was based on this dream.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so let's fast forward to the time that you decided, okay, now's the time, I have enough money.
Yeah. It was 12 years ago, more or less 12 years ago. So it was 46, it was 1 year of delay. And I decided, I had a relation, I had a good job, good career, and a nice house, a dog and some cats, you know. I built up the things that binds you, that keeps you in the comfort zone. So then it became very difficult to cut with these things. So I made another plan. I said, I'm gonna do something like in between. I'm gonna take like 4 or 5 years, and I put everything on hold. So it means take sabbatical on the job, have a love relation, rent my house. So I wanted temporarily buying some freedom for 4 or 5 years to do my dream. And the more I organized like this, the more I discovered it's not working like this.
No?
No, it didn't. It was not working. One feet in safe comfort zone and 1 feet on my boat. That you lose balance. You it's not possible. So I discovered after a couple of months, I have to cut my job. I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna sell my house. I'm gonna stop my relation, which was the most difficult for me. And I go. It's not temporary, it's just go. Release everything and do it.
Wow.
So I did it, and that was super scary.
I bet.
Super scary, and also you feel in these moments before everyone is. I was talking a lot about my dream. Everyone is dreaming. Every sailor is dreaming about sailing around the world. So everyone, I'm gonna do the same. We're gonna do all the same. Blah blah blah. And the more I came to the reality of leaving, the more I was alone. In the beginning, they say, "Well, yeah, we supported you," and yes. The closer I came, they say, "You are crazy." So I feel very alone at that moment, and that was difficult, but I did it.
Congratulations.
And the moment you leave, you can feel so intense that this is the right way. That it's never easy, but it helps a lot. That you can feel at least about feeling with the heart that this is okay. This is not with the ratio, mind, but really from. So that happened 12 years ago.
Wow. And then in the last 12 years, what have you been doing?
Well, like I said, when I left 12 years ago, everyone asked me, how long are you going to sail away, blah, blah, blah. So my whole idea was 4 or 5 years. In 4 or 5 years I can go around. I never did it before, so I didn't know what I was going to do. And when I came in the Caribbean, after crossing the ocean, I found myself in a new lifestyle. The whole cruising world, the people, it's so different, the culture, the boat life. I feel so good that I say, I think I don't want to rush. So I decided fast, after 2 years, I decided I'm not going to hurry. And if this takes 20 years, it takes 20 years. So I decided not to limit myself in time, but time is money. So I had money to sail for 4 years without having an income, because I saved a lot of money. So I have this for 4 years, but not for 20 years. So, okay, new plan. I'm gonna sail, and if I run out of money, I have to work. And there comes the whole delivery thing. So I start doing little jobs, and they came to me like little jobs working. Okay, before I got all my degrees, yachtmaster, RYA yachtmaster, all those very good dive master, all these licenses, so that helps a lot. So 2 years sailing in the Caribbean, I started taking jobs, and I built this up during 10 years now, and I grow very fast in it. It means I do a lot of deliveries, and I cross the ocean like 5 times for delivery. So that means that you become, in the beginning, no, it was very scary. I'm gonna run out of money and all these things, but now I'm not complete without problems or money-wise, but it's going very well. So, touch wood, I hope it stays like this.
I'll help you out with that.
Yeah.
That's great. Well,
Yeah.
can you explain how you go about getting jobs in that delivery world, and how you go about getting crew?
Getting jobs, it's keeping your reputation very well. So each time you do delivery, it must be punctual. We say impecable. This is perfect. So not messing up things, doing very well towards the owner, the client. Social media helps. You tell about yourself on Facebook, whatever, so people admire you with that thing as well. And then it's a lot about, how do you say it, we call it mondreclame, knowing people and talking about it. Because I'm now in Guatemala with my boat, and I'm always introduced towards other sailors. This is Sigrid, and she's an excellent captain, excellent sailor. So then I give my phone number, and each time someone knows you have to bring the boat from there to there, they call me, and so that's good. But I have to say, you have to start down the ladder, and in the beginning not asking too much money, or in the beginning doing things for free, so you have to be very patient, and then later you can, like sometimes you do deliveries and you say, hey, wow, I don't have time for this, I want to work on my own boat, just asking for my attention, and I want to work on another boat. And then I say, no, and then, yeah, I do things like I double my asking price, because I don't want the job, I'm not running out of money, and then I'm surprised, because they often pay, and I say, yeah, and that works. So, yeah, you have to try these things, and of course, if you ask the double and all these things, you have to deliver in a good way. So that's kind of discipline and working hard. Like I'm doing now delivery, and it was short time to prepare, to find crew. That's the next question. So it was, I had to work all night, and yeah. We go for it. We go for it. We do it. No social life, no, just working. It is super demanding, but okay, it's working fine. And finding the crew is like, it's unbelievable. But now I'm doing delivery to Holland for the boat, and I have a crew. I don't know the people. They don't know me. They don't know each other. We are like 2 weeks together now, and it's amazing team. Perfect. I'm very thankful to them, they're thankful to me. It's great. So it's management is important. Understanding it's not only about sailing, it's also a lot of psychological things, mental things, about feeling, about communication is the most important thing. Communication is the key for success. So I always start with a lot of briefings, meetings, talking, what happened today, how do you feel today, are there things you want to share, whatever, a lot of communication. So everyone, I always say on a boat, everyone masks fall off. You cannot hide anymore. The only mask you keep on is your diving mask. So in a short time, you encounter yourself, how you are in real, and you encounter the others how they are in real. No fake, no imago, no runaway. So it's very confronting, but very interesting. If you can handle this, I have to handle this for myself, I have to handle this for other people, I show people the way, and it works great. Because I'm convinced that when we meet with people, it's always with a reason. They show you the way. Or they are mirror. They hold a mirror. So that's the two reasons you encounter people, and very interesting, but confrontating and not always easy. But if you can handle this, you're not afraid of it, it's interesting. It's working fine.
What if you have a crew that's not getting along with you or the other crew members? What do you do then?
Yeah, in my sailing, personally with my boat, I had 68 different people in 6 years on my boat, not all together. And two times I had to ask to leave the boat because it was not working. And so when I had this before I go and sea with someone on my boat, I talk with them in advance. Preferable with video live, and I can see them. So we go through a lot of things, and there I can already decide, no, I don't want to go with this person. Or they can also decide, no, I don't want to go with sea as captain. So that's first thing, and then I explain to them also, if it doesn't work, we split. We are not in open sea directly crossing the ocean. We just are somewhere we can step off the boat, or I can ask you to leave. So it's open communication. If I feel that there is a kind of not working thing, we are adults, so we have to talk about these things, and then we can learn. We can do something with it, and to try to do our best to improve ourselves towards each other. Or after a couple of times it keeps on not working, then I politely ask if they leave the boat or if they want to go away because they can take hours anymore. They leave. Yeah, without making issues or problems. Because it makes no sense. There's no value of it. Happens a lot, I know. I'm aware of that. But it makes no sense, and it's too sad that you damage relations. It's a challenge to make it work.
Well said. Mm-hmm. It's very, very rare.
It's rare, but it's not impossible. Yeah. So, and I can see boats, or I hear stories, horror stories, dreams become nightmares, and if you see how they don't communicate, it's normal that they strand on big conflicts. If you don't communicate, if the captain leaves the dock, the crew doesn't know what to do, everything goes wrong, they hit something or whatever because it's not organized, and you ask, stress in the boat. If you plan, you talk about how we're going to leave this place, you there, I do there, blah, 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 blah. A lot of talking. Everyone feels comfortable, you communicate, so these things, that's the way how you organize things.
Do you have any tips for me as a captain if I wanted to take a bunch of crew? Like, is there a must-do thing that you do?
Yeah, I would say take some time in advance to see the people, to have kind of meeting or to drink a restaurant or something, that you can see them before you go on the boat. Then the next thing is if you stay a little bit close to the coast, that they always can go off the boat in a couple of days. And then the next bit, like I already said, is communicate. Be open, be honest, be modest, be low profile, but you stay the captain, very polite. But be aware that they don't go over your borders. It's very important. Everyone has their own borders, and it's constant happening that they try to go over it, and then you have to stop. You know, for ourselves, this doesn't work. So you you have to find a good combination in being the friendly, nice fellow on the one hand, but on the other hand, you're the boss. And I have to be the bitch. It's something sometimes I have to be. And on the other side, I'm trying to be as friendly and lovely, and I want a lovely atmosphere in the work. But sometimes you have to be very, not rude, but disciplined and say, this is not possible. Example, smoking or drinking on the boat can be fun at a certain time. Okay, you have to realize this is a job, this is a delivery, not my boat, so here's the border. And there, maybe I think, I would like to go on partying with those people because they have a lot of fun, but there you have to say stop. And you have to explain to the people, it's not because I don't want to have fun, but this is for your safety and all this. A lot of talking, communication, be open, let the others be open. And you will always encounter kind of emotional character things that is not perfect, it's normal. It's possible to handle them by open communication.
When I see seasoned captains in their element, they're usually really chill. Even if something breaks, they don't freak out, and that's very important for the crew also not to freak out.
Yeah.
Do you think that is a skill that can be taught, or is that just time in sailing, or is that something that people can work on? I mean, what makes that happen?
Of course, you grow in this important character. I think initially you have to have it in you, staying calm, and if you get fear or panic or aggression, there's a big problem. It's something. It may not happen because it's not okay. So I think you have to understand. You have to understand yourself very well. So inner inspection. How do you say it?
Introspection.
Introspection. That's the word. Learning to know yourself is super important. Helps a lot. It's not an easy thing to do. You can do this by meditating, by training, by whatever, but it's very interesting to do. Why? Instead I being afraid or frustrated or aggressive or shouting or panicking. You have to know why it's happening and you have to control it. And today I heard someone saying, I was not afraid, I was in a storm, at the crew, I was totally not afraid, but I looked at the captain. And he looked so afraid that I became afraid. So it's how you have to stay cool and calm, and of course you have to be alert and nervous. It's normal. Nonchalant reading a book is not a good sign. You have to be stressed inside that other people may not notice. But because your head is constantly thinking, you have to be control free. About yourself, about the boat, about the crew. Control. If you lose control, you may not lose it, or you have to handle that, or you have to control it. So if everything goes wrong, you lose your mast, your backbone, whatever, fire in the boat. You have to stay calm and say, we gonna also this difficult moment, we gonna find a solution. We work together, we stay a team, and we get out. Everything is temporary. Nothing lasts forever, like fire or storm or losing the boat. Yeah, you have to handle this. And on the other hand, of course, there's like experience. It's normal that the first jobs you are afraid, that every time you do a job you get always more relaxed.
What about the boat? What do you do when you get to a new boat, and how do you pick or not pick jobs based on that?
Yeah. super important. If I get a job, like someone calls me, bring this boat for me from there to there, I always say, okay, I want to see the boat, and I want to examine the boat from top of the mast to the bottom. I want to go in the boat, check the boat. It's gonna take me maybe 5 days or something. I want to be paid for this. I don't do it for free. So if I discover that the boat is full of problems, I don't do the job. My time spending searching the boat is good. So yeah, I give myself a lot of time to. If they say no, we cannot pay for that, or no, you have to do this for free, or no, then I say thank you. I don't take it. Another thing is that I will never take a job because I need money, and because that's dangerous. Then you will go maybe with a boat which is totally not big problems. So there are some things that I want to keep. I want to see the boat. I want to have time to examine the boat. I want to be paid for that, and I want to be free to say I don't do the job because the boat has too many things. So I'm lucky all my boats are more or less okay. At some boats I did. It took me 1 month extra to prepare.
Wow.
Yes, and I say the woman, she was a doctor in Texas, and she wanted to leave 1st of November from Guatemala to Florida with a boat, 62 feet big boat. And the boat was totally not ready. The boat didn't move for 6 years, so it was full of kind of problems. And I said, listen, Louis, I cannot go with this boat. The boat is not ready. I need a month. I can only leave 1st of December. And in the month, maybe we'll discover more costs or issues or no. But then I explained, and she said, okay. And yeah, I could work on this boat for a month.
She just paid you a day rate.
Yeah.
Interesting. And
you know, you understand if you do this and you are a little bit like arrogant, then you have to make job very well. You have to explain to the people. And then sometimes they say, oh, see, that's way too much money, and I put the boat on a container ship, and then I say, go ahead, why not? So I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to leave with this boat, even I didn't check the boat, but I need the money, and I leave. I never do this, never ever. And I don't think it's, well, I know people who did this, and sometimes they probably really do. And then they lose their reputation. And then, oh yeah, don't take that captain because he was in all problems. And yeah, you know, people talk a lot about small world.
yeah.
So you have to protect yourself.
Absolutely. That makes sense. You said that you check out boats for 5 days.
Sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 1 day. Depends how big is the boat. If you talk about 60 feet boat or 35, you have to check the through hulls. They're not that. I was once with a boat with 69 through hulls.
What?
And I discovered that they were almost all in bad shape, so we had to replace them. So we were 7 months on the boat.
Wow.
The boat was really not. They wanted me to bring me the boat to Sea of Cortez, which is a very big trip. The boat was totally not ready. So it ended up that we worked 7 months on the boat to make the boat better and better. I discovered life raft was overdate, this. So, and the owner had money, and he had a very good relation with me. So,
But that's not really what you wanted to do in the first place. I mean, you wanted to deliver boats.
Yes.
You don't want to go and refit boats.
No, but it came like I started refitting the boat, and for me it was like, okay, they pay me well. It was a Corona situation, lockdown, so it was not time to go sailing because everything was closed all the time and uncertain. So I said, this is a good way to learn more about technical things. And I could work with the whole team of Guatemala technicians, and I learned a lot. And so I said, okay, I do this.
Beautiful.
I can put it on my. That's another thing if you want to know. You keep a track of all what you did, and you each time you can present it to the people. So I make a story. This is my delivery with this kind of boat. I did it in so many times, so many miles, and then you can send this sailing CV or resume towards new clients to show who you are. And then the longer it becomes, the more impressive. Then they say, wow, she already did this? Okay. So, yeah. But that takes time, 20 years or longer. So you cannot, if you start, you're 20 years old, you cannot expect that you have this experience.
In the last 20 years, what's the scariest or somewhat scary situation that you've been in?
You mean on delivery or in my personal boat life?
Well, yeah, whatever. In your career, in your professional career, what are some interesting or scary or maybe some stories that have maybe a learning?
Two very scary moments, and it's all about living or dying. Once I had a man overboard situation, which was very critical. So it was a cold sea, so I only got 10 minutes to save the guy. I succeeded, but there was like I never felt so many stress in my body, so much adrenaline. That's really like because you're very close to the death, not of you, but of a crew or someone on the boat. So it's about saving a life. It went out well, but it was really super intense. And the other one is my personal life, which was threatened. So I was attacked by pirates, and so they almost killed me.
Whoa!
Yeah, I was 50 years old. So I was alone on the boat, and they boarded the boat in the night, and they had a gun, and the bullet holes were still in my boat.
What? They fired it off?
Yeah, and they started strangling me. So there was a. You can read the story on Moonside. You know Moonside.
Yep.
So it was in 2015 in Haiti, and if you in May 2015 Haiti piracy pages from Moonside, you can read my story. And I was very lucky. I was not killed. I think someone protected me, but that was the most scary thing.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
That is traumatic, but I survived. I got a new, you go. It's traumatic, so I had to have some trauma treatment and all these things. So because when you fell off a horse, they say you have to jump on the horse again. So it was not easy, but we are 7 years later now, and so it's going well. But I learned a lot from this too. Be realistic, don't laugh at the pirates, both feet on the ground. And if you choose for an adventurous life, like we do, it's part of the game. Either a storm, either a man overboard or pirates, it's realistic. It's not like exaggerated. No, if you decide I go sail, my life is non-stop sailing, you encounter one of these things. You cannot hide or run away from it. So, yeah.
There is a certain level of risk in this life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And there's one thing I really want to talk about is this is a male-dominated area. I mean, I very rarely meet delivery captains, female captains.
Yeah.
How has that impacted this life for you?
Well.
And how has it changed in the last 20 years?
Yeah, there's a lot of improvement. So I think not only in the sailing thing, but in general, I think more and more like they want to come to balance between male and female. So, but yeah, it's a man's world, and for me, was often working double or triple as hard to prove yourself. They don't listen always to you because you're a woman. I'm not tall, so you have to prove yourself more, and it's definitely even more challenging, and it's a man's world. But now I think it's getting better. So, but I was often the one only female in a bunch of male in training or whatever. So yeah, so it's becoming better. I think these days I meet a lot of young female, 30 years old, 20 years old, who wants to do this, sailing around the world with a boat. So it's positive. I want to be inspiring for them. I like to coach them if they want. So I like to advise them, and yeah. But I think it's even a little bit harder than a man. Yeah.
So, what tips would you have for somebody that's listening right now, say a young woman that wants to get into this lifestyle?
Well, a tip would be like go to my website, take contact with me. I'm willing to answer your questions or to guide you a little bit. If you want real coaching, I can work for you. I wrote a little ebook about all my experiences, and so you can buy it. You can learn a lot about it. And furthermore, I would say, if you can dream it, you can do it. So keep this in mind, and yeah, you will be able to do this, whatever you want.
What's your contact information? Your website?
My website is www.luckybitch. That's the name of my boat. And then .be for Belgium, Bravo Echo. So www.luckybitch.be. Then you come on my website. It's in Flemish, but you can do Google Translate, or you can find my WhatsApp number or email address, so you can write me whatever for questions, or you can sail with me. You can join me in my adventure, whatever. So it's Flemish, but you can translate it, or you can find me on Facebook or whatever.
I have a couple more questions, just because there's a couple things that didn't get answered from what my original thoughts were. How do you normally find crew? Are you using websites? Are you using any referrals or?
I have my own. I have a big network myself, so which I constantly grows. It's international, so that's first thing. Secondary, there's a lot of. I do a lot of social media, so I go on Facebook and I make an announcement looking for crew, blah blah blah. And then I take a lot of time, all the candidates. Like for this crew, I found 4 people. I think I got more than 50 letters. So you have to read them and call the people and talk with them. So, but you can, if you announce something, nice advertising on Facebook with clear what is the trip, is it volunteer or is it paid, all these things. So, yeah. Social media is easy.
How do you keep it all straight? How do you organize it all and keep, if you have 200 different names, are they written down in a book somewhere? Or?
Yeah, I write down a lot. I have my computer always with me, so it's working, organizing. You start making a folder in the computer, and in the beginning it's 2 files, and after a couple of days you have more than 1,000 files. So all the input a lot. And crew candidates, example, with pictures, with CVs, and it's non-stop work, and it's 16 hours a day, non-stop, 7 on 7. But the result is that what I have now, this experience in a small week, I could gather 4 fantastic people, and that's nice.
And for a fantastic cause. Do you mind telling the story of your delivery now?
Yeah, I don't think it should be a problem because I was in Belgium after 4 years. Came here in end of May. Plan was to stay 2 months in Europe, not only having time for my family, friends, social things. So July was like was full of social activities, and suddenly, unexpectedly, There was an announcement on Facebook looking for delivery captain boat from Croatia, 55 Beneteau from Croatia to Belgium, very fast now, leaving now. Yeah? And then I looked at it and I said, no, I don't have time, I don't need money at the moment, so I don't do this, my agenda is full. But they keep on asking me, so everywhere, friends calling, this is something for you, blah, blah, blah. One of the crew here, you go as a captain and I go as a crew. And I say, oh, okay, I'm gonna call the guy who was organizing it. It was not the owner, it was someone in between. And I called him and he said, yeah, we want you. He knows me, and say, we want you, but we have 2 or 3 other candidates. Send your CV and your estimate for the money-wise, blah, blah, blah. And okay, so I start working on it and I send it. And then, oh, and I say, I have one problem. I say, this is all very fast. I don't like it. Hurry is not good, and I want more time for checking the boat, you know. I don't want to do this on time pressure. It bothers me. And he said, okay, Sigrid, I understand. It's a good thing of you, but I cannot tell you why this time pressure is there, but there is something. But I can only tell to you if you are going to be the captain. Okay, no problem. So then in the night I was thinking maybe it's something to do with the Russian war or something, or whatever involved, political or something, yeah. And I say, maybe, and so 2 days later they called me, yeah, you are the one, you can call the owner and you can do the job, and now I can tell you why it's so hurry. The owner has cancer, and it's not possible to help him. He's gonna die soon, so it's a matter of days. And he has to be back in Belgium. He lived in Croatia on his boat. He had a good time there, but he needs medical treatment all non-stop with a nurse with him. So he has to live in Antwerp now, close to the hospital. But he wants his boat close with him, that the last days of his life he can enjoy the boat. So I say, wow. So today again I talked with the owner, and he said, yeah, hurry up, because I hope I'm still there if you arrive at my boat. So that's a very emotional, touching deadline. And so when I hear this I say, wow, this is a big challenge. So I say, okay, I work double so hard only for giving the poor man who is going to die what he wants, his boat close to him. So I could tell this to my crew also, and I think it motivates extra to hurry, and yeah, so that's it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, special.
Very special.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I know you're busy, and I really appreciate your time. I mean, you basically gave me an hour when you only have about 20 left. Mm-hmm. So thank you, and it was very nice to meet you, and hope to have you back. I hope to run into you again in some time in the future.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to learn more about you, they can go to your website, they can go to your Facebook page, and maybe crew or get some.
Yeah, or join me on my boat, take part in my adventures, whatever. Everyone is welcome.
Beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
And thank you, James, for this opportunity. I like inspiring people, so that's again done by this interview. So yeah. Okay.
You're very inspirational.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.